This week, our focus of our lessons is going to be on cards, and since we are near Valentine's Day, we are going to be focusing on Valentine's cards, but the concepts are the same, whether you're making a get well card or birthday card, I miss you card, or any kind of card. So we will have a guest artist today, and that is Mr. Tomlinson. He's going to be talking with us about how to make our cards and showing us what we need for this lesson.
All right, we switched places. I'm usually recording Mrs. Tomlinson on her lessons, but now we're switching gears here a little bit. Most of you might have had me before. I used to teach at Washington, and if you took my art class there, some of this might be familiar to you, or even, I think most of you should have had me in 6th grade. So some of this might be familiar. For others, it might be brand new. But it's a lot of fun to make a card, and but first, let's take a look at some old cards. I'm talking about old, 100 years ago, because they're pretty unique. I started collecting some cards some years ago, and but these are like from the late 1800s and 1900s. And you can see they're very, very delicate. They have some fancy lace on them. And what I'm kind of, you get ideas from other cards, and so you can look that this has a cutout edge, and it has a lace here, and it's kind of, it pops out. It used to pop out. And I'll read you the message. It says, "Fair be thy happy voyage, and without storms." Kind of sounds like something from Shakespeare or something, but they're kind of fun to read. And you can see that these are cutouts. Most of all the edges are all some type of cutout. It's very interesting. Here's a heart-shaped cutout. These two are. And here's some others. Notice that this is totally cut out. I'm keeping them inside the bag because some of them you can notice that they're very fragile and they're falling apart. Just like us people, sometimes when we start getting older, over 100 years old, we're frail. But they're fun to look at. This one says, "An echo of love." The messages are always they sound old. So, but those are pretty cool. And you might even find some from your great-great-mother's box of stuff or something, and they're pretty cool to start saving. In the newspaper, I started collecting some Peanuts comics because they feature Valentine's Day, and they're fun to read. I'll read you this one. This one's funny. This is Peanuts, good old Charlie Brown. And here's Snoopy. And it says, "Hey dog, I'm going to make my own Valentines this year. I'm going to cut out some pretty red hearts and glue lace around them. What I want you to do is to type out a nice verse." And of course, here's Snoopy with his typewriter. So he starts typing. "Chocolate chip cookies are red. Chocolate chip cookies are blue. Chocolate chip cookies are sweet. So are you." "This is terrible. I can't make a Valentine with that. Write another one." So Snoopy goes back and starts typing another one. "Angel food cake with 7-minute frosting is red. Angel food cake with 7-minute frosting is blue. Angel food cake with 7-minute frosting is sweet. So are you." "That's the dumbest thing I've ever read." I guess I misunderstood. I thought she wanted something sentimental. Ah, dear. So it's fun to collect cards, collect comics all about a certain holiday, in this case, Valentine's. Let's go over real quick what you should have material-wise you should have your copy paper in front of you. You should have your card paper, your colored paper. You should have your lettering packet. There's also a small half sheet it's called calligraphy card making. Keep that in front of you because I'll be referring to it because there's some good points to talk about and think about. You need colored pencils. You need your ruler. You need your scissors. You need a pencil, eraser, most likely your pencil sharpener, and your glue. Now, other things that you might want to find is maybe if you can find some small, thin ribbon, but we won't worry about that until part 3 because we're doing part 1 today. This is for part 3, so you have a day or two if you can find some nice ribbon that you want to use. The other thing that we won't be using today or in part 1 is the glue. Gluing won't be until part 3. Okay, so we'll set the glue aside. But you do need your colored pencils, scissors, ruler, and so forth. Okay. The first thing we want to do, oh, by the way, find yourself a piece of line paper. That's going to be for part 2. So you won't need it for part 1, but for part 2 you'll need line paper. So find yourself some line paper. That's going to help out with your calligraphy. Find yourself a piece of copy paper, one piece, and something about card making is that there's lots of different ways to make a card. There's no right or wrong way to make a card. There's some things you need to follow, the steps or concepts, but whatever you come up with, that's the key. If there's anything special about making a card, it's because you made it. And it gets very sentimental. I can tell you older people, grandmas, aunts, uncles, they love to get cards that you made. Not that you went to Walmart and paid $3 or $4 for it, and then all you did was sign your name and you give it to them. The thought is there, but the creativity isn't there. And that's where making a card is totally awesome. So how you put it together is up to you. That's where thinking outside the box, your creativity comes into play. I'm going to give you some hints, some tips, some different things to think about, but whatever you come up with is awesome because it's your card. Okay. First of all, a card is like a puzzle. A puzzle has lots of different pieces, and you want to think about those pieces that you're going to put together. The other thing is you can think a card is like a sandwich, where it's kind of in layers. So keep that in mind. You're going to have a message, and so you'll have to think about who you're going to give the card to. That's real important because not only the message is important, who you're going to write it to, but also the colors that you choose. So we'll talk more about that. One of the key points on making anything, especially in a card, is craftsmanship. If you do it sloppy, they're going to say, yeah, thank you for the card, but they're going, oh, this kind of sloppy. I mean, we don't go to Walmart and find a card that's torn or dirty. We find one that's, really nice and that we like. So everything that you do it with craftsmanship. And then the other thing is creativity. So if I'm talking about something, ooh, I'd rather do this, go for it. Because again, the card is personal and it involves your creativity. So we're going to take this piece of paper, and what we're going to do is we're going to have basically two choices of the size of the cards or the way the cards is. First way is it's almost a square, but not quite, but it opens up like a book. And you can see the side. The other way is it's more, this is vertical, this is horizontal. So it opens up like a book too, but you can see the difference. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So you're going to take your paper, and if you want to make more of the vertical, what you're going to do is you're going to fold the paper in half. Then we're going to turn it, and we're going to not quite fold it in half. We're going to go up maybe a half inch, 3/8 of an inch to the edge. So there's a lip there, see, so it'll be easy to open up. The other way, if you wish to do it, again, it doesn't matter which way you do it, that's up to you, is you're going to fold it in half the long way. I guess this would be called burritos. The burrito. This is a taco, this is a burrito. So it's long, you can see the difference. So if we do it this way, then we're going to turn it and fold it. Again, not quite in half, don't go to the edge, back off a little bit, and you can see that we backed up off about 3/8, half inch, whatever. That way, again, that it'll be real easy to open up your card. Okay. So make a choice, fold your paper in half, and then fold it again in half, but not quite, so there's a lip there, kind of like a tab type of thing, okay? So I'm going to choose, let's see, which way should I choose? I'm going to go ahead and do this one. So I'm going to set this one aside. Okay? And you might want to go ahead and fold both of them and then sit there and decide, which one should I use? And of course, you could make two cards. But I'm going to go ahead and choose this one. And what I want to do is think about, well, Valentine's involves what shape? Well, hopefully it's quite obvious that it's hearts. And so I can get old cards that I've gotten, and you can get ideas, and there's a heart shape.